welcome back. Welcome back. This is a very special night. I want to definitely welcome my brothers to the seat of the esteemed. You know, you're here right now in the throne room. You know, this is a pleasure to run this back right now. And I just really ready to get into it.
Yes, indeed.
So our last interview, you touched on a lot of, I would say, very valid points about the nation of gods and earths.
Indeed.
And as you could see, it quickly, you know, got a lot of responses out of everything that you talked about. It seems like the world is attracted to anything that has to do with the nation of gods and earths.
Yes, indeed.
So do you want to maybe elaborate more?
Yeah, I can elaborate on that. You know, for those that don't know, or for those that might be seeing this bill for the first time, we did a bill a couple of weeks back on Easter Sunday. And I happened to be by the law school, and so I went into the garden on the side of the law school, and, you know, I made a little manifestation. And in that manifestation, I might have mentioned the Muslim gods. I might have mentioned the brothers who I run with that fall into the character of a Muslim god body. And, you know, for the most part, a lot of the comments were peace and they understood what I was saying, but then there was a lot of negative bill from a part of the nation which is called NGE, the Nation of Gods and Earths. So what I will do with respect to you, my brother Bigga, which is also my little brother born savior, who used to be one of the fruits of Islam, who used to be one of the security guards at the nation, you know, with respect for you and the bill that we're doing, what I will say, in contrary to the bill that I did, for all the regions out there that are doing things positive, that are doing things in a civilized and a righteous manner, according to Allah's 5% Nation of Islam, I want to pardon myself if you felt disrespected or neglected in my bill. And I want to say peace. And if you out there, you civilizing and you teaching and you living a righteous way of life and you building with herbs and you building with seeds, then I want to say peace and keep up the good work. But for all the negative comments, because I had quoted, it was the Wisdom Cipher Day. So when I was building on the Wisdom Cipher Day, what I did was I didn't want to go all the way back to what is the meaning of civilization. So I took it from Ezekiel chapter 12, 47, but I happened to say Ezekiel chapter 12, 37. So I got a lot of comments. Oh, he don't know his lessons. Go back here, go back there, bow, bow. What I want to say, first of all, Allah never called us the nation of gods and earths. Allah said we are a nation of gods and earths, but we are the 5% Nation of Islam. You understand? Then I had some negative comments come back. Oh, Muslim gods, they are enemies. This particular God is our enemy. Nation of Islam is our enemy. Don't say we're Muslims. Don't say we're this. Don't say we're that. So not to get into that bill, and after I built with my elders, peace to Born Justice, peace to Shaheed Imallah, peace to Wakil, peace to El Shabbat, Shabazz, Melquan, peace to my brothers that got it or that taught me when I got it. Don't you apologize for nothing, God. You stand strong on your square and you do what you got to do. Because anybody that's going to verse you, if you say you're going to clean up something that's wrong, if you say you and some brothers, whether it's the Moorish temple, whether it's a Christian, whether it's the Baptist, whether it's the Nation of Islam, if we all are, if our main goal is to build in righteousness and civilize original people, anybody that's against that is your enemy. There was one particular brother that all the NGE told me, oh, this God is peace. He's doing great things for the babies. He take the babies here. He's doing this. He's doing that. I get a video. I said, yo, I apologize to the brother because I had mentioned him in that Truth or Square bill on that Wisdom Cipher Day. I mentioned him like, yo, he's clowning with the nation. But the God was like, yo, God, at the end of the bill, you know, see, this is one thing I want to say to the 5% Nation of Islam, gods and earth. Just because a brother put a flag out there, or just because a brother goes and say, peace, God, or peace, or knowledge, or mercury, or any of that. Oh, they putting the 85% up on gods and they bringing this, that, and the third. That's not right and exact, man. If Ronald McDonald was on a McDonald's commercial and said, oh, a piece of the gods and earth. So y'all gonna run with that Ronald McDonald represented the 5% Nation. That's emphatically now stifled, man. I had brothers saying, I don't know, lessons. One particular comment said, I was gay on the rainbow community. To that particular brother, whoever put that comment, and I hope you see this, if you would ever show your face to me, man, I don't normally do this. I don't normally manifest crimes on TV, but I will break your goddamn jaw. And to any of you NGEs out there that you doubt that I don't know my lessons, that you doubt that I ain't been building for 42 years, whether it's from Patterson, Patmos, same as P-Long, and now why you think I don't know mines, man? Word is bond, B-O-N-D, 11th degree. However you see it, 120 or a separate Muslim degree, don't ever call me out my name, man. Don't ever call me out my name because that is a good way to get your jaw broke. And outside of that, if you, how y'all little young, how y'all 85% say, oh, you don't want the smoke, you ain't about that life, and all that other slang y'all be running, man, I'm God, man. I'm just bound in every aspect of the word. I'm a true and living God. All the slang you could come with, all the guns you could come with, all the bull crap people that you could run with. Two gods you really don't want beef with in this industry. It's just life, scientific, and universal son born, Allah, King Son. So y'all keep all that and keep the negative comments coming because I will keep ignoring. When you want to build, and if any of y'all really wanted to build, you would have called my math and not Darkim. What's the God name? Darkim, I be Christ, or call Born Justice, or call any other God. When I got knowledge of self back in 81 and 83, we go straight to the root. Don't say you don't want to build with me. Oh, he running with a Caucasian wisdom. How you know she my wisdom? How you know I'm married to her? How you know I got babies by her? Because I don't. So all that y'all running, wherever you live, unless you came to Mecca with knowledge and wisdom of the God started when the Father brought it to us. I don't care wherever you live, whatever you doing, whatever. All that backbiting, all that negative comments. Once you put in negative comments, you show and prove you ain't God or earth. Oh, well, I'm the earth and he dissing me. If you knew I wasn't talking to you, why you open your mouth? Knowledge my wisdom. This is the God, universal son born. And if you fail, you want to respond to me. Because I'm a champion without an opponent, and I accept all incomes. Period. Your favorite rapper is Rakim. Your favorite rapper is Kane. Your favorite rapper is Busta Rhymes. Brand Nubians. Paul Righteous Teachers, Larkim Shabazz, Just Ice. All of them are my brothers. But not all of them are worthy. Not all of them have qualified themselves to be a sad person of that ability. But you don't know that because you too busy chasing he sell records. He ain't relevant. I never wanted to be relevant in the music industry. I did a record with Paul Righteous Teachers called The Gods Taking Heads. After I did that record, we were blackballed. I know I'm ill like G-Rap and Kane. I know I'm ill like Nas and Jada. But you will never know that because the powers that be will never let you bear witness to the wisdom that I speak. Now we're going to change this subject. Peace. And happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. But no one understand this. Mother's Day, everything that we talk is a fabrication and a lie. Mother's Day is every day. Father's Day is every day. Honor thy mother and father that thy days shall be long. And that's just coming from that Bible. Know your history and knowledge your wisdom. Know where you come from so that you would know where you're going. And if you're going into the future, then you need to acknowledge me and the brothers that I rock with. Peace to the gods of earth.
Knowledge. So also on our last interview, we touched on Tupac.
I want to clarify
exactly.
that. Go ahead.
That's what this is about. As we know, Tupac, rest in peace, have a large fan base out there, so they get emotional, when someone speaks about Tupac. So I want to just go back over that again and maybe again clarify because, me and you are the same, we one and the same. So they believe that they felt the same energy from you that they believe come from me. And they believe that there's some type of underlying hatred for Tupac. And that was in the comments. You've seen a lot of that in the comments. I think they kind of missed the message of what we both said.
Right.
So maybe you want to elaborate.
Okay, so now, that's another thing I wanted to touch base on. First of all, Tupac was a very good and beautiful brother. Tupac would give you the shirt off his back. But see, I don't think a lot of people out there and a lot of you viewers, Pac, a lot of y'all caught up as fans, man. And you really don't know brothers and sisters like you think you know them. It's the same way like Elvis. You can't tell an Elvis Presley fan nothing about rock and roll. He started it. If you tell him, Elvis was prejudiced. He was prejudiced. He was the blue suede shoes and bow. His fans don't want to hear that. And a lot of our original people, we developed that same character towards what we call our heroes. Now, one thing what I want everybody to know within the sound of my voice, any hero that we had, that Caucasian man gave to us or allowed us to have that hero. So when they allowed us to have Tupac as a hero, that was the Brenda's Got a Baby. That was the Tupac that ran with Tretch. Shout out to my brother Treacherous. Tribal Tretch. Tupac was a beautiful brother. But see, what you people don't understand about real hip hop is if we are part of hip hop, if Big was to say, right now I'm with Big in the studios with his family and everything. If Big was to say something in a rap scenario about me disrespecting me, I don't think King Son could rap that good. I'm not gonna hate him. I ain't gonna call him out his name. I ain't gonna try to discredit anything positive he ever did. But on the hip hop level, I'm a battler. And see, the sign says, when hip hop, before we put it to the public, when I'm gonna make the record I'm gonna make about Bigga, Bigga gonna hear it first. So when I did the joint dissing Pac, now everybody said, oh, King's Son got 2 different years mixed up. Yes. The first year, when it happened with Tribe Called Quest and we all misunderstood it. Hip hop, we all got it right. We ain't need a Busta Rhymes. We ain't need no, other people to come in and, I pitched up the beat. We used to have Africa Bambaataa, B.O., Mick Benson, Ahmed, and we had Muhammad, and we had the Zulu Nation. Any beef in hip hop, it went there first. It was squash first, it was deaded first, and whatever leaked out happened. So no one understand that. We didn't need no, oh, and I'm the one. So when it was said that Pac really didn't diss Tribe, okay, that was the first year, I guess, Born Culture year, 94. So then in 95, when it happened with the Snoop Dogg and the Suge Knight situation, even as that beef went on, I'm sure a lot of y'all heard Suge and Puff was still cool. Though it looked. I got a verse that I said, now, I mentioned that I was one of the first cats to diss Pac in that song California, but it wasn't a song meant to come out. It was studio rhetoric. And then WAP, which I said last interview, when I see DJ WAP, DJ Do-Wop, and slap me in the face, but WAP is also my little brother. WAP will look at that interview and be like, King Son, that's my man, that's big bro. We talk like that, we play like that because we're from the old school. I would never disrespect DJ Do-Wop, anything he's accomplished in this industry, his mother, his family, his kids, or none of that. But being from the Bronx, born in Jersey, but being from the Bronx, we clown with each other like that. I could say I'ma smack the shit out of WAP. WAP will call me tomorrow, yo, son, right, what's the problem? Nah, WAP, bop, this, that, and the third, and we're cool. Because in my day of hip-hop, we ain't put guns on each other, we ain't stab each other, we ain't kill each other, we never dissed each other's wives, kids, family, none of that. And that goes for Canvas One and MC Shane. So no one understand that. So with the Pac situation now, when it popped off and Suge and Snoop and them not knowing, and how they came and said, yeah, if you want somebody that's if you want somebody on your label, but you don't want them all on boom, 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 this, that, and the third. Again, New York, we took that as a disrespect, but we didn't take it as we was gonna harm Snoop or we was gonna harm Suge. Dr. Dre and all them cats was over there. I know Dre, I know Jinx, I know all them cats, man, from LA. I lived out in LA. We know who the villains, we know who the perpetrators, and we know who the real dudes are. So when I did the song and Pac heard it like, yo, big homie, bap out, that's why he ain't come at me, because he knew that it wasn't from the heart and it wasn't no direct dart thrown at him. Now at the same time, I got the dates mixed up. If you listen to the song California, and I urge you to, I hear some people saying, oh, it's trash. Oh no, my brother, that wasn't trash to be coming off the top of my head. Nor was it trash for 1994 or 95. No lyrics written down. Funkmaster Flex asked me, how did I see what happened last night? So when I popped off, I'm doing Funkmaster Flex Volume 3 for the tunnel. So when I popped off and did it, Watt took it, put it on his little mixtape, and he ran with it. But if you listen to it, In the song, I said, how you making movies, making records, doing tours, then be up in Dannemora scrubbing other niggas' drawers. So apparently, I knew he was incarcerated. So what y'all need to do, all day on your phone and trying to analyze things and put it together right, man. Black people, get your minds right, man. Knowledge the wisdom. I'm the God, man. You know, we grew up on watching Sherlock Holmes, Columbo, Barnaby Jones. We grew up watching cop shows, Beretta. Solve the problem, figure it out, who's doing this. A lot of y'all jump on these phones and jump on these platforms and make comments blind. Y'all not even realizing that there's a big eye watching what you say, watching what I say. That's why you ain't gonna never get me off my square with all them negative comments on the 5% nation that I'm gonna argue with you. I do this, I do that. I'm God, man. You ain't got nothing on me, man. All you can do is learn from me. Knowledge me by example. Tupac was my brother. Mo Cream is my brother. Pop got another little brother, Lil Pop. That's my brother. Y'all don't know about none of that. Oh, Pop was my man. I love Pop. You love Pop from what they showed you of Pop. If you knew Tupac, you would have known all the death row, all the thug life, all the wild. Pop first was from the Bronx. Pop lived in Maryland, went to school for acting, ran with Jada and them. But on the West Coast, Pop was from Oakland. Oakland is a different build from LA. Shock G, Money B, Digital Underground, them the babies from Parliament Funkadelic. Y'all don't know that. That's when Pop dancing. Pop a background dancer. Pop was raised by Oakland, man. All that, when he got down to LA, and LA could turn you out. Whether it's Hollywood with Puppy Staff, or whether it's the streets of LA with the gang set trip mentality. And even that, you gotta know how to maneuver through them streets, them gangs, man. A lot of cats, King Son, I lived out in LA, man. I lived out in LA. I lived with everybody from Black Gorilla Family to Grape Street to PJ Watts, Imperial Court to 40s and 60s. Even on the Mexican side, I lived and rocked with the Mexicans out in Norwalk on Rosecrans and Firestone. Tell me I'm lying. Shout out to my little man Esco and them. 460 bus, jump off at Rosecrans in Norwalk. Or take the Green Line and get off at Firestone. This King's son, man. I ain't have nobody with me. I ain't need no gun or no knife. My name, my energy, and my character was enough to get me all the way through LA. And shout out to the guards out there on Leimert Park with the parliaments. Born of Law, My King of Law, Kwame. Shout out to my two students out there, Knowledge Supreme and Understanding Mathematics, students that I gave knowledge to. Shout out to my man Tristan. Like I said, shout out to 40s, Rolling 40s, GQ, all them cats, man. I've been out there. Shout out to the jungles. This King's son, man. I ain't go out there on no rap style. I ain't go out there with no crew trying to do this. I was out there to civilize the true and living God. And I did such, man. Tupac was my man. He was my brother. His mom's heard it. Pac heard it. Pac laughed. And I knew Pac was prolific. Pac was more, not a battle rapper, not a gangster rapper. Pac was an innovator. Pac was a revolutionary. Words that y'all don't know nothing about to this day. Y'all on the thug life. But I'm going to hit you with a joke. Also did another song that I hit Puff Daddy with. And this is from the heart. Not many people heard this song, that I did this song with Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder's song called Ribbon in the Sky. My man Deuce from Jersey redid it. This is after Big got killed. So this was supposed to go on the We'll Always Love Big Papa album. Day after Big got killed. When Big got killed, I was in the tunnel with Ice-T. Some Bloods ran up the ice like they ain't run up on them, but they was talking to yo, Ice, what's up? I said, hold up, man. Back the F up. If he right here, right now, what the Ice-T have to do with anything happening to Biggie Small? So, and these was Bloods from Brooklyn at the time. Nah, King, nah. Knowledge of wisdom. And they fell back. So I said, yo, you know what? Rather than doing a song for Big, Jada and them had the song, Faith had the song, Puffy, Missing You, all that. See, King Son always been innovative, even though they ain't really let me in the industry. I said, I'm going to do a song for Big and Pac. You feel me? So when I did the song, I did it in the premise of Living in the Sky with Stevie Wonder. I did a verse for Big, I did a verse for Pac, and then I did a eulogy. My man Sugar Dice, shout out to Sugar Dice. Everybody knows Sugar Dice used to run with Puff, Motown. Took it to Stevie crib out in Alpine. Stevie with it. Puff said, yo, it's hot, Playboy, but we can't use it. I can't use it. Why not? Nah, it don't fit. Your man King Son said, do the knowledge, just so everybody want to wild out. This is what your man King Son said. What I said, boom, 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 boom. I said, I can't think of the verses right now. But I said, for Pac, I said, coast to coast, here today, then the ghost. Didn't know you too well, but still felt kind of close. The Reaper make the distant family reunite. Sometimes I wonder if we curse ourselves in what we write. Your career took flight, your future looked good. Still kept it real with the thugs in the hood. Young, black, and gifted, lyrically artistic. Gave birth to ideas that appeared so realistic. Now getting around ain't the same no more. And players don't consider this a game no more. Because East Coast and West Coast both need each other. We fight like brothers, but still we gotta feed each other and rediscover how we're related to your dear mama. She done already seen drama from the white farmers. That's why it's hard to keep her head up. She ain't mad at you, just the fact her black son done got wet up. Destined to shine bright, passed in the limelight, victim of a crime site on a drive-by night. After the fight, Machiavelli, who was known for giving to either side, now resides in the sky living. Oh, so long for this night we pray that two stars from around our way with their lives, should they have to pay, now living in the sky with our love. Now that was the Stevie Wonder part. The eulogy was ashes to ashes and dust to dust. When you can't trust your own skin, then who you trust? All we got is us and what's inside of us. A lot of doubt of us, because there's not a lot of us. The ones who keep it real know better to sleep or chill. Death is deep but still. Who knows how deep it feels? The life you take for granted is only ours to borrow. So pay homage and sorrow, because we're not promised tomorrow. In memory of Scott LaRock, Tupac, and Biggie. My man Mel Ike, Steve Mitchell, and K Nitty. This is not a coincidence. It's harder not to represent. No longer here among violence. They're living in the sky with our love. Now, I'm trying to think of the Biggie verse, because the Biggie verse, the first verse was for Biggie. The second verse was for Pop. Pardon me, I'm not a singer, I ain't singing, but Stevie Wonder was gonna sing it.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sugar Dice, you out there, put on the comments the receipts. When I played that in Motown, Kidar, Bad Boy, everybody was ill on it. Even rest in peace, my man Wolf said, son, that's the illest song on there. You know Puff ain't gonna let it go. And how my man told me, Puff ain't gonna pay you or Stevie for that.
But how is he gonna pay you if he's supposedly the one who killed him?
Hey, like I'm saying, we didn't know that at that time. Now that joint is called Living in the Sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Living in the Sky, microphone. Living in the Sky, I did this the day after Biggie died with my man Deuce. They said they couldn't use it. But I did get a chance to perform it one time. Red Alert let me perform it at a little club down on 26th Street. I think we was doing a eulogy, or we was having something for Professor X, which was Lumumba, my former manager. And I did that Biggie Tupac song. What was, I want to say the Big, because it's like I'm not doing Big no justice. Big joint was Blunt. I can't remember Big's verse, but anybody out there, I had a verse for Biggie, a verse for Pac, and a eulogy. And this joint was hot. So see, that's what y'all don't know about King Son when you say King Son is whack and his albums never sold. I'm the first one to put the real universal flag on a video. I'm the first one to put a picture of the father in a video. I'm the first one to do a song called Universal Flag, Be Black. I'm the first one to do a song called Pure Energy. Not to mention, the gods is taking heads. So you don't know it like you know punks jump up, they get beat down. You don't know it like word is bond, because I don't gotta come and with quotes from lessons to add you on. Go to 2122, you'll see King Son. Go to Harriet Tubman School, you'll see me at the Parliament. In June, the second week of June, go to the Sean Pool, you will see me. Other brothers ain't really have time, but they the gods. I ain't disrespecting nobody, man. I'm just saying, don't come at me sideways. Don't come at me sidebar, man. You don't really know me. I'm true living God, and I've been representing this. I really ain't cared. Once I knew what the black ball was, once I knew what the ink on the contract meant, I was cool, man. Long as I could be God. My name is Sunborn, Universal Sunborn. King's Son is a stage name. King's Son is a name I do trade with, bought and sold. So if that devil say I can't use that name no more, he still can't tamper with Universal Sun Law. That's who I am, man. Rest in peace to Pac. Rest in peace to Biggie. And somewhere in this interview, if I think of that Biggie verse because it's ill, you gonna come back?
Yeah, we gonna get it.
Hold up, I'm thinking. And see, what y'all don't understand, I'm Power Bill years old. For those that don't understand, I'm 58 years old. You feel me? So, okay to say I'm damn near pushing 60, that don't mean nothing when you God and you civilized, man. I'm not dog. I don't eat everything. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't wear myself out, man. When you dog yourself and wear yourself out and you allow the problems of the world to weigh 6 sextillion tons on your shoulders, then you start looking like, oh, he old. Ain't nothing old about me, man, lyrically. Ain't nothing old about me physically. Ain't nothing old about me mentally, except for the older I get, the wiser I get. Now, knowledge that wisdom. You heard? Knowledge that wisdom on a knowledge cipher day, all being born in knowledge. Let's build, Bigga.
Peace. Now, with that said, that brings up a good point that, we can't stray away from before we close off the Tupac stuff. With your extensive background that you've already explained to us about LA, about living out there, knowing the code and knowing the street out there, it's no way that we could get around that part about who killed Tupac. Because allegedly, we see in court right now, the very person that we just spoke about is allegedly being, accused of it and might be a part of his case.
Right.
And you mentioned something just now. You said that we didn't know that at that time. I can't help but to, in the court case and, following everything, they say this $1 million. We all heard him kind of, maybe arrogantly, maybe speaking too fast back then when Tupac was alive.
Right.
Get on the radio and say, I put $1 million on your head.
Well, with that, let's build on my man Puff. Like how I know Puff from back in the day, from the Howard days, from doing clubs and everything. And I knew like Puff was kind of backed and protected by the Moet crew or the Valley Boys. That's a set of Jamaican brothers.
Yeah, Wolf.
Yeah, not just Wolf. You got Bugs, you got Kent Lee, you got Bontemps, you got Big Phil, Ock, and all of it. It's a lot of brothers, and these brothers are Jamaican brothers. They civilized, but they're serious brothers. And they used to, for instance, my man Bugs, they used to, Puff had the parties. So when Puff had the parties, all the girls gonna come, because all the big willies gonna come. And when the big willies come, the girls come. If the girls is there, then the regular dudes gonna come. And then Puff had access to the celebrities. So it all was there. So this is late 80s into early 90s. That's why the late 80s, early 90s, that was a good time. Whether it was a good time for drug dealing, whether it was a good, not bigging that up, but a good time for drug dealing. Rest in peace to my man Rich Porter, Donnell, his sister Pat, my man Smiley. We lost a lot of brothers in that drug struggle. You understand? But we had a good time. This is what made up 145th. Shout out and rest in peace to Willie Burger. That I never knew my uncle and my moms used to work for Willie Burger. My nephew over there I told you about, his grandmother, my mother, worked for Willie Burgers on 145th. You won't know that about King Son. Oh, King Son here, Corn Hill. I've been around Harlem. I've been around Sugar Hill, son. Sylvia Robinson, Joe Robinson. It's like I've been New York. I was born in Jersey, but I lived in New York on Popham's in the big house. I'm 6, 7 years old. Moms come home from Clinton, get caught up in the numbers. I go back to Jersey. I'm in Jersey trying to live the Jersey life. And there's a lot of brothers from Inglewood, from Teaneck, that their family was from New York, gangster, and try to tuck them away in Inglewood, Teaneck, Hackensack, Alpine, and then, but you thinking, oh, that's your man. He living on Teaneck Road, or he live in Inglewood, and you thinking they Jersey dudes, but their whole family is New York, son. You feel me? So now let's get back to Puff. Puff moms, Miss Janice, beautiful woman and everything, but she was about that life. Puff father was about that life. I didn't know his father and his family, but Puff came up through Father MC, Heavy D, and all that. So now, as Puff would gain notoriety in the music business, once you cross the continent and when you go on that side of LA, you got two entities. You could get caught up in the Hollywood side. When you get caught up in the Hollywood side, that's the tinsel town. It's all fake. But if you go out to LA and you get caught up in the streets of LA, like Pac said, to live and die in LA, I would never say that. That's why I say sometimes I wonder if we curse ourselves in what we write. Pac spoke too much of death. And there's people behind you that's watching you while you're in the limelight. And you're not realizing what you're setting up. If Big, I'm rocking with you, you getting money, and you keep talking about, I'm ready to die. If I die tonight, they gonna kill me, they gonna kill me. Not only are you putting that into the universe, you're making it easier for them devils and those that's against you to make that happen. And allow you to present it or allow it to be presented as the inevitable. It was gonna happen. DMX, it was gonna happen. You feel me? Big Daddy Kane's still alive. Karis One still alive. MC Shan still alive. Rakim still alive. Chuck D still alive. Because we never called death. We never preyed upon death. We never placed death. And Public Enemy's symbol is run in the truth of square on a target. They never called death. If I die, I'm ready to die. I ain't never scared. See, that's what these young brothers and sisters see when we didn't call death. And once they seen that Tupac did. So who's the greatest rapper of all time? Biggie or Tupac? They both rapped about the streets. They rapped about gangster. They rapped about thugs. But if they were really thugs, and if they were really gangster, they would never be dead to this day. Because like Karis once said, gangsters move in silence, brother. I don't need Puff or Suge to tell me how to play this chess game. You acknowledge me? I don't need brothers how to tell me how to strategize my moves in the 5% nation, how I'm gonna teach, how I'm gonna move, how I'm gonna deal with my woman, how I'm gonna deal with my mother and my family. Like Denzel said in that Frank Lucas movie, the loudest nigga in the room is the weakest nigga in the room because you need validation. You need somebody telling you you're making the right move. I don't know who killed Tupac, but I know Tupac should not have been on them cameras in that fight in a Las Vegas casino hotel on the night of a Mike Tyson fight. My team, Gods and Earth, wouldn't have let me be there. And if we had beef in LA, ain't nobody in my team, even though I rock with Ice-T. I rock with King T. Peace to T. I rock with Battle Cat. I rock with Shorty, JD. I rock with Dub C. Peace to Tunes, my rest in peace, my little brother Tunes. I rock with all the best out in LA, man. But if I had a problem in LA, none of my brothers who I named would have told me to come. Regardless, New York and LA, they're both dangerous places, but they're two different entities. New York, they might let you, New York might rock you to sleep and get you. In LA, they coming to get you. I don't care if you in Hollywood Hills. I don't care if you in Mount Olympus. I don't care if you in the Valley, Topanga Canyon, wherever you at. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Didn't they get the young bull out there?
Yes.
You on Instagram, 100,000 in your mouth. Like, you cannot play LA like that, brother. You can't. You can't think you roll with Queen City. Think you roll with Damu Brims in them. Think you roll with the Jungles in them. They really don't like outsiders. They might accept you, whatever. They really don't like that. And when it comes from LA, you ain't gonna see it coming. Like in New York, you ain't gonna see it coming. We might, as a New Yorker, I might be like, yeah, they gonna get him. And the New Yorker might get you in LA. A lot of people don't know. I don't know who, I think it might have been Pimpin' Ken, my man. He said, Pop, he was down in LA, he rocking with LA. But they booked him for a show up in these projects in Oakland. I can't remember the name. They booked him 10 G's to come to the joint. My man said, now I'm not saying Pimpin' Ken said this, so pardon me, but I'm saying the behind the scenes story went, they was gonna get Pop when he came to these projects. But his car broke down on the highway. And he never made it. Anybody that think I'm lying, anybody that know this story from up top, you can't rock with E40 in them, man. You can't rock with Too Short in them, man. That's a whole different part of West Coast. It's the same way, like, you think New York City is wild, right? But then you can go up to Poughkeepsie. You could go up to Springfield. You could go up there where Griselda and them is from. My man's in them up in Albany, Buffalo. They ill up there, man.
Very tough.
But New York City and Buffalo, we don't got to connect. Same thing with LA. And same thing with Oakland. I got my cat, shout out to Grizz and them, shout out to my man Big Fellow and them from Bakersfield. You ain't never heard of Bakersfield, have you? They ill out Bakersfield. I was hosting a rap battle out in LA. The whole thing was Bakersfield. When I was picking they came at me like, yo, King Sean, you don't know. I'm like, nah, nigga, you don't know. At the end of the night, I said, yo, I'm going up to Bakersfield with y'all by myself. Shorty from Lynchmore said, yo, bro, don't do that. You don't know these brothers. I went all the way up to Bakersfield. And they ill up there. You talking to me, right? And I beefed with them first. Y'all niggas is whack. I'm from the Bronx. Where Bakersfield at? Oh, we up top. Take me up there. And my man, my heart, My man Greg. They call him Pooh, like Pooh Bear, but he a big little nice with the lyrics. Grizz. And Grizz ain't no joke. Grizz about that light and smoke, all that. I went up there with my brother. Good time. Stayed with my man, Big Fella, Meech, Grizz, all of them. I'm like, damn, you never hear nothing about Bakersfield. But they bout it up there. That's why I say like Springfield, Poughkeepsie in New York. You never know where the original black man is live at, man. So just keep it family and keep it righteous, man, and keep it moving, brother. Don't call death upon yourself. Don't think it can't happen to you because you from the Chi, or because you from Florida, or because you from Texas. It can happen to you anywhere, brother. Word is born.
Yes.
Oh, but again, like I said, to answer your question, I don't know who killed Pop, but I know who didn't keep him alive. Let's say that.
Copy. I think everybody understood. The Ice Cube situation.
Okay.
Let's just clarify a few things on that. We spoke about that in the last interview. A lot of people found that, quite interesting. They didn't know that you had altercation actually with Ice Cube.
Right.
Was that where are that situation resolved? Are y'all in a good place now?
Well, from my situation, and see, this is one thing that you need to know when we artists, but if Cube is a millionaire, right? Or if you're an artist and you live and you popping and you got beef with a millionaire, you never really know where you stand. But you as the individual, as the sincere individual, you could say, nah, ain't no beef, we cool, that's my man. But you just talking. See, the more money you get, I want to say the more money you get, the more, you become a person of schemes. I'm not sure, I'm not trying to, I'm trying to figure it out, you know what I mean? Like, the more money you get, the more you become a Kaiser Soze. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I could say, yo, we cool. Yo, Kaiser, I ain't even robbed the truck. You know what I mean? I just gave dude a screwdriver to break into the truck. But a Kaiser, knowing his power and knowing his weight, everybody going. But with the Cube situation, Cube is a powerful brother. I got a lot of powerful underlights, or should I say, I don't want to call them enemies, because it never went to that spot. Even if you want to mention the brother Fat Joe. I don't got enemies. You know what I mean? But I can honestly say, in their works, in their careers, in their lives, I have aided them. I have helped them. I have looked out for them. I had their backs. But then when it came to reciprocation, it was like, yo, we doing us. Do you, I'm gonna do me. So, okay, we that's how it goes when you're in the hood. Me and you, Big, we started this podcast, me and you. The bigger picture is me and you. Your camera, your cameraman, your atmosphere, but I get the artist. Once I teach you how to fish, and you fishing, I'm cold on you, son. Big, what? All right, pay. So what up with you and Big? Nah, he chilling. I'm just that dude with a story. But the results are still with Big. So, oh, you mad cause Big popping off and you ain't doing nothing? No, I'm mad because I thought Big was my brother and he wasn't. That's what hurts, man. When you see brothers that done help these brothers get paid and make millions and get to the plateau and the platforms they on. It don't hurt because we want the money. Like Jay-Z told Dave, if you made Hove, make another Hove. And if you qualified to make that Hove, you could do it. What hurts is you feel abandoned, that you put your blood, sweat, and tears, you put your heart and your trust into somebody that wasn't worthy. And you ain't got to apply it to a rapper life or an entertainer life. Apply it to your everyday life, those of y'all that's watching this. Look around, that girlfriend at work. Your man who on the block, who you introduced him to the Connect. And then he start calling the Connect without you. Now he pushing Benzes and he got the block rocking. And he ain't fucking with you no more. That's where you put it at, man. So with the Cube thing, we cool. I let him know how devious I was. I let him know, King's son, I ain't got no money. I'm out in LA. I'm by myself. The last time I saw Cube, I was in his dressing room eating buffalo wings. His man, Monster Pookie, ain't even know I was in the dressing room. I moved silent, I moved swift, and I moved chess move. Because I promised my brother Shorty, brother Jerome 20X from Marvin, Lynchmore, I gave him my word as bond that I would put him on the phone with Ice Cube at the end of the night. Shorty said, brother, leave it alone, brother. Nah, Short. Because Shorty had his stories with Cube. You know, JD had his stories with Cube. Jakes had his story with Cube. You know, it's a family thing. And what I wonder is to everybody out there in La La Land and the Instagram, Facebook land, why is it never enough money for everybody to eat? Answer that motherfucking question, you goofies. Why is it never enough money for everybody to eat? If 50 got 500 million, why G-Unit, Buck, and all them can't eat? Fat Joe got 50 million. Why Terror Squad can't eat? Why Flip Mode Squad can't eat? Why the Locks and Mace and Puff, why them niggas can't never eat, man? But y'all keep feeding in on this story, that story, because you're all being led like lambs to the slaughter. And you're not being led by a shepherd, man. This shit ain't hard to figure out, man. Rich Porter did not have to die. Darnell Porter did not have to die. How I know? I lived that. I shot dice with Rich Porter. I chilled with AZ on the location. Do y'all know where the location at? Chime in right now. Where the location at in Harlem? I ain't even gonna tell you. Gangster look. Don't matter. Oh, he snitch. This nigga snitch. We all done snitch, man. You think if I'm paid and I put all you dudes on And the niggas I put on, they boning my girl, driving my car. You think I ain't gonna snitch or make a chess move to get up out of there and get leverage? Them streets don't love you. Street business don't love you. Street niggas and street bitches do not love you, man. So what you being honest and sincere to? Honestly, what is you being honest and sincere to? So you can miss me with that, but Ice Cube was my brother. I met Lynch Mob on 42nd Street. First thing they told my mans was laughing at him. Jerry Curls. They didn't know that the Jerry Curls was signed a set trick. The tattoos were signed a set trick. The Dickies, the Chucks signed a set trick. My man's on 42nd Street between 7th and 8th laughing at these cats. I'm like, nah, God, shit. These brothers are set trippers. Oh, we're set trip? Nah, these gangbangers for real. You feel me? They knew the homie King's son. Now from LA, yeah, I got a room up in the Marriott, let's go. They wasn't staying in the Marriott, but we was on our way to my room because it was a seminar. We on our way to my room because they got that LA weed. I done bought some 40s and we about to go roll up and get nice. But in the mix on some real dude style, yo, we got beef because what happened since Cube left NWA, Easy be sending cats to jump him on the road at his shoulders. They trap him off in the bathroom and they get him. So he got us. We ain't really rappers. We set trippers. And everybody know in LA, they know what set trippers is. So I said, yo, y'all in New York, man. Whatever go down, if it go down and y'all with me, it went down with me. And that's what happened. So when you watch the movie Straight Outta Compton and you see the part where they coming down the escalator, say the Marriott, that's not what happened, and it wasn't NWA. We was going up the escalator. We got off at the 8th floor, which was the lounge. We saw Gomac and them above the law and them cats, and it popped off. So we all popped off, start hitting each other, bop, fighting. You know, everybody, we running, about fighting. And that was a bond between me and my LA brothers. Now, I'm not saying that Ice Cube ran, but he was escorted out. So by the time we got finished squabbling and got to Fifth Ave, to their hotel, Cube was on the phone with Dre. And then Dre was like, yo, what King's son got to do with it? I said, nah, somebody snuffed me. I don't know what happened. I was playing that role, but I knew what it was. But I didn't know who was involved. And then it wound up being my conception involved, the real LA hierarchy in the gang thing. So, okay, bam. Bam Bada's involved. So my conception got to come see Bam because I told you, we ain't do nothing in New York without Bam and B.O. and Zulu Nation. Nothing moved in hip-hop. When LL had beef with Ice-T, Zulu Nation. Booyah Tribe, all that, Zulu Nation. Dissing Tribe Called Quest, Zulu Nation. Yeah. So now, rest in peace, my brother Bug Out passed away. Bug Out was with the smoke. He was with the burn, and he was with all that. Shout out to H, Dillinger, and everybody who ran with Bug Out. Shout out to Zulu Kings and all of them. Shout out to my big brother, Africa Bad Body. We don't comment on that situation with Bam and all that, because we don't know. You understand? So we fall back. It's like somebody asked you, did your pops do this? Did your pops do that? No comment on that. Now back to the Cube thing. So we fought for Cube, and like we my man, you know. Cube come to New York. Yo, Cube, where you gotta go? Studio pal. You gotta get with Hank Shockey and them pal. Running around with him. But every time he come, and every time Lynch Mob come, they my man. As soon as they touch New York, they always stayed down in the 42nd Street area, but they call me, yo, son, we in this hotel, come through. We got the weed. At that time, I did some go through, me and the guards, Life Supreme, Shabelle, whatever guards was with me, we go get with Lynch Mob. So then Shorty, yo, man, I be seeing you talk to the guards in mathematics and what's that's about. Well, that's the guards and this, that, and the third. Bow, bow, bow. So when they do go back, Shorty get into Islam. So they all cut their head. Q cut his off. I want to say, I don't think JD did it right away, but Shorty cut his off. But I know that JD did eventually do it. And so Shorty and them saw Islam. So Q, my man, and they think we cool. And they, we run around 125th. We run around to the tunnel. They had this big white boy used to be with them. I forget his name. I think Kip or something like that. But even though he was a big white boy, he, in Harlem, they wouldn't have respected him if they really wanted to get killed. Mm-hmm. So I would run with him. And so I happened to hit Q with a tape to give to Ice-T for the Syndicate joint. And it never got to Ice. You know what I mean? So when the tape never got to Ice, I'm in my crib up in the Bronx and everything. So I'm listening to Cube joint and I'm like, damn, what did he use? So, one of my baby moms at the time was like, yo, that sound like your song, In Pursuit of Town, that you did in 91. So when I heard it, I'm like, yeah. So, we all got on the phone. Me, Cube, Shorty, JD. Well, Shorty, I don't think JD got on. Me, Cube, Shorty, Ice-T, Mick Benson. We all got on the phone. I just, I woke Kim up. I would never disrespect Kim. Shout out to Kim, Darrell, and the babies. Cube is a good dude. But I figured we would sit down and we would talk. But nah, so when he come to New York, holler at me, but he didn't. So when he came to New York, he came to the club, and I went to the club, and I maneuvered, chess move, got myself a mic, or got the house mic. Yeah, bro, what happened, man? It's King's son. See, I always show Cube like I could just pop up and say, peace. And I know he could too. Now, I don't got the money Cube got. But I can pop up, peace, Cube. Like I did the last time. I think this was like 2011, maybe 2012. Him and Gang was doing a show out in Long Beach. Made whatever moves I made. I'm sitting in his dressing room. He don't know I'm there. Monster Pookie ain't know I was there. I'm sitting there now waiting for him. Seen the wings, play the wings, got me something to eat. I'm eating. I tried to eat before he came, but he walked in, King Son, what up? Like, man, what the fuck you doing there? Eating. Hey, dog. Yeah, holler at my man. Rest in peace to Shorty. My word is my bond. I put him on the phone. When I walked out the dressing room, Monster Pookie looked at me like, how the hell you got up in there? That ain't important, man. Peace. How you got? Peace. So, that's the bill with that. And it's like, Cube was my man. I done already spoke with Don Jaguar, who was the cat that sung it on Cube out. I had to go. It was destined for me to go to LA to find out everything. The Pac beat, and this is after the Pac beat. This is after the Cube beef. I'm out there civilizing. I'm out there building and watch. Now these cats can't. I could go to Calabasas, where Dre and them live. I could go up in the valley and see all that. But I could also go down and watch Long Beach Boulevard. I could be on the green line, 130 grand, Wilmington, Imperial Court. I know I ain't lying, man. I ain't never got to lie, man. And LA is my second home. When I left from LA, they threw me a block party and said, you might be from New York, but you always live here in LA. Shout out to my man, Ray J, Sticky Fingers, DeAndre Bonds. DeAndre Bonds, that's
Snowfall.
he playing Snowfall,
Yeah.
but the Wood.
Yeah.
Right.
He played in the woods. He went to jail for a little while.
Right. Little DeAndre, that's
they
my
would know
Lord.
him from Snowfall.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something funny. He'll punch me in the face. he drank a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we out there by 118th and think Avalon where his moms live and everything. So I used to stay with him. I used to stay with him and everything. You know what I mean? I used to live with him because Sticky told me to hold him down. DeAndre's a real good dude, but one thing I'm gonna say about DeAndre, this boy rhymed like Nas. DeAndre could mess with Nas. DeAndre could mess with Eminem lyrically. Right now. But nah, bro, I'm like, yo, who wrote them rhymes? And he a fellow Piscean like myself. So he nice like that. But one day, we out there by his mom's crib, you know, throws his hands up. He always call me bruh. He slapped me. Bah! So when he slapped me, you know, his sister out there, his mom's out there in front of the house. I'm like, yeah, boom. All right, DeAndre. So what I did, I hit him with the 52 pickup from Medina. So what I did was, I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go. So I went here, bop, and I went low, snatched his pants leg, snatched him off his feet and slammed him. Bah, within the glass. And he laid there like, bruh, why you got serious? You know, but that's my man, DeAndre. Well, I say all that to say, man, I got a lot of good brothers out in LA, man, and with the Ice Cube, you know, he doing good things with his son Darrell, that's the oldest, and Lil O'Shea, you know, I love Cube's son with the acting thing, man. So, you know, it's no fuck Cube, you know, whatever we had back in the day, you know, whatever problems we went through, if he a good father, he's a good man, he's a good brother, let that brother live, you know what I mean? And that's what I do, you know what I mean? So we might have our disagreements, but as far as, but you know, like I said, I fought Q and Drake and Easy and NWA for the state that hip hop is in right now. I'm gonna keep that real. You feel me? I'm gonna keep that really real. But at the same time, who am I if they inducted in the Hall of Fame? You feel me? Like Melly Mel, Furious 5. You will get no iller, no better message song than The Message. Public Enemy, you will get no better revolutionary group. Well, you know, you got Dead Prez, you got a lot of brothers that came after them, but Public Enemy, they didn't think Public Enemy was radical like that. They thought they was my Uzi Ways of Time. They thought they was my 98 Posse. They thought, oh, L.I., Lord's Island, Long Island popping off. But once they realized that these brothers had something to say,
It was too late.
it was too late. Elvis, John Wayne, oh, stop that. Shut it down. So, but yeah, man, you know, Q, he my man. I say we cool, but it's like I would also, to be honest, I'm in a long line of people that are dissatisfied with the brother Ice Cube.
Speaking of that, the last conversation we had, we spoke about the destruction that we seen or the dismantling that we seen of my early generation, which was you, which was based on positivity rap that was coming out, and somewhere was in the line of that, it changed into the gangster rap. Um, I've heard, and I don't know if you are familiar with this, so I would like for you to elaborate. They, I was told in an interview once that there was a CEO in the 90s that wrote this letter that said that he attended this big meeting that was supposed to be all of these big wig CEOs. And in the meeting that they had decided they wanted to invest into prisons, and that their strategy to be successful with investing in these prisons and filling up these prisons was the promotion of the gangster rap music, the, rap music that,
Right.
spoke about women as whores and stuff. Just it changed into crush
the
that.
negative connotation
Exactly.
of hip hop and the direction it has taken for the past 30, 35 years. Well,
And that they would directly promote the garbage and not promote the,
well, to be clear, that is a thing. And it's a thing, as they say, above my pay grade. I'm not worried about nobody killing me or doing anything to me, because all I got is knowledge of self. So if they're gonna come and kill me or return me like they killed the father and Malcolm and Martin and all those for manifesting the truth, then, I stand strong on my square, and, I'm not gonna say I'm ready to die, but I raised my 9 babies to the best of my abilities. I'm cool with my family and all that. But within this industry business, it's not just the music industry, because the music industry, I want to say, bubbles over into the survival and the destruction of the Black race. We may not think this. Anytime you say, oh, Black people, Black this, that, this is the question before we go into that. Why do we put an age cap on everything we do? If I'm 50 years old, why should I stop rapping? But Willie Nelson, Elton John, Paul McCartney, Ozzy Osbourne. No disrespect to these artists, and they were strong artists, okay? That came before Michael Jackson and Prince and Rick James. And they are still out touring right now. New music come out, and they maneuver through the music industry right now. But you 50 years old, are you washed up? And it's not the white man saying it. It's my own people saying it. You understand? Because again, we are being corralled, Bigga. You feel me?
Yeah.
We are being corralled. Now, with this thing, we gangsters. Fuck that nigga. I'll murder that op and all this other stuff y'all say. I've yet to hear one gang member, one killer, one MC, one Atlanta rapper, Florida rapper, Chicago rapper that's about that smoke and that's about that life. I ain't never heard you say you killed a white man. I ain't never heard you say the nigga that raped your grandmother, and he did, raped your great granny, had his white penis all in her mouth, didn't make her go in them cotton fields. You ain't do nothing to him. But that same black young man that's strong like you, Might have got you for $20, $30, $50. Might have said you can't fight. Might have boned the girl you boned. Minuscule little things. Minor shit. You go and murder him. Why you can't fight? Why y'all young bulls can't fight? See, we fought. I'm ill. I got bullied when I was young. 17th Ave jumped me, bullied me. Till I start fighting back. Bah, bah, bah. Till I got locked up. 36136, state number. Look me up. Bah, 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 bah. Me and Natural Born. Bah, 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 bah. Dick beaters. We could fight, bro. This is my 9 right here, bro. This is my 380 right here, bro. When you can knock a man out or knock a man down and help him up, please, who won? Me and you. And keep it moving, that's God, man. You, 5 niggas, 5 guns, shoot 2 cats who ain't got no guns. Ain't no heroism in that, man. Ain't nothing of that to look up to, bruh. That's cowardice. If I gave my 6-year-old daughter, I don't have a 6-year-old daughter, just saying, if I gave a 6-year-old child a gun and told that child to point it at you and you ain't got no gun and pull the trigger, that child gonna do it. So now is that child about that life? Is that child thuggish? All you young brothers and sisters out there, man, in the gang life, I ain't gonna try to go against, the Bloods. I ain't gonna try to go against Crip and what it all started out to be, man. But from when it first started, Blood, Crip, GDs, gangs in New York, the Guards, whatever, Latin Kings, what it all started out to be was protecting the community, bruh. But what it ended up to be right now was kill your own motherfucking family. And you doing it. You doing it. If I treat your girl like a bitch, you gonna want to kill me. I'm only treating her like what you called her. Oh, shit. I love my bitch. I love my bitch. I love my bitch. Yo, bro, that's your bitch. Hey, yo, bro, don't call my girl a bitch. What the fuck are we doing, man? Excuse my language. But then on another note, oh, peace king. Oh, peace queen. Nah, fuck that nigga. Fuck that bitch. So is you a king or a queen? Is you a nigga or a bitch or a dog or a gang or I? What the fuck is you? Because whatever you is, when you little motherfuckers die, there goes my future. There goes my future. So again, back to what I said, why it's still negative. The white man, no disrespect, and no, I don't got a white wife, or I'm not married to the white girl, or got kids with the white girl, all that shit. I run with her, she my peoples, and I got her and she got me. Know that. Whether she fuck with this nigga or that nigga, whatever, she in my cipher, I got her, she got me. Know that. If she was Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, whatever is within my circumference, I control, I maintain, I protect, and I stand in front of her. So let's know that. Get that shit out the way. But back to what I said. As we came up with this hip hop thing, this our shit, it's not your shit. It ain't your right, and we ain't give it to you that way. How you got it? Because that white man saw a way where he could take our voices, our originality, our creativity, and use it against us. And since he used it against us, when we said, and really, I was thinking about this earlier today, okay? We never used to say, yo, what up, nigga?
No.
In 80, from 70s and 80s, we never said that shit.
Nigga was, when I came up under y'all, nigga was still something that could get you punched in your mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could still get punched in your mouth. Yeah, that's how
we was like, yo, what up, Black? What up, God? What up, G? What up, B? What up, Fam? Anything that was a positive connotation, we said. But that's where I take it back to Cuban. Oh, we just niggas with attitudes. Like I said, we had, and Dr. Dre, if somebody see Dr. Dre or Kendrick or any of y'all see this, remind Dre that time we was in Long Beach and Dr. Dre gave me the cassette and he said, yo, before you judge us, listen to it. 1989 at the Radisson Hotel in Long Beach, California. That's where Eazy-E, and when he said, yo, this Eazy, I went to shake his hand because I seen his videos and he was like, man, fuck you. And I said, man, fuck you too. Eazy was an ill dude. But that's where all that came from. So if you think that it was the NWA talent, if right now, I don't want to say Leo Cohen, because I know Leo Cohen. Leo Cohen was my man, Big D, Russell, Kenny Lee, Francesca. Like I said, I named the Rush Artist family. I named the Def Jam family. Everybody from Will Smith, Slick Rick, Flav, everybody know how we all used to get down. We were one family. We were the L Sharp family. Russell did everything. Leo was cool. Rick Rubin, everybody was cool. But to see Leo in the light now where I watched him say, I know it's all negative music, but I got mouths to feed. I don't think that our Black people or our hip hop nation understand what he meant like that. I don't care if you niggas is killing each other. I gotta eat. Mm-hmm. I don't care if your mother's on crack, or she's a whore, or she's a stripper, or your brother's retarded, or he's gay, whatever. Chinese, Russian, Jewish, nobody else is giving a damn about the Black race, culture, soul food, nothing. Hip-hop is $1 billion business, right? Why we ain't eating off of it? And the ones that are eating off of it, these are your gatekeepers. These are the ones to pacify you and satisfy you to say, oh, look, I'm doing it. I'm getting it. But the sidebar of what you asking, about why it's changed like that, if any of these cats that got millions, or multi-millions, or billions, if they make a move to try to educate, re-educate, civilize, or feed or help the Black culture, they cut off as well. And they already know this. Your approach with this. When you hit $1 million, somebody is going to approach you with this. Kanye, he's crazy. He's stupid. He this, he that, he that. Kanye sharp. Y'all stupid. Y'all this, y'all that, y'all that. Because you gonna keep perpetuating the stereotypes. You gonna keep killing your alike. That's not your op. An op is somebody that's opposite of you. That man live in the same hood you live in. He's just as broke as you. He's just as ignorant as you. And he bought his guns from where you got your guns from. That's why he fucking your girl. Y'all all in that same, festering in that same pot. It's somebody that's a chef cooking that shit up. And y'all ain't going nowhere. And all y'all little young rappers is, oh yeah, why would I flash $200,000 or $250,000 like it ain't nothing? And ain't none of these people in this studio, my people's eating. In my day, we getting you. How you got 200,000 in your pocket, round your neck, in your mouth, and we ain't eating? Now old school, now they gonna find your ass in Bronx River, turned up, and we don't know who killed you. And we ain't gonna spend your money right away. We gonna pay for your funeral. Who did it, Bigga? It was you? Bigga, who did it? Who did it? We don't know. But once you gone, we ain't even gonna mourn you. Throw that nigga on a wall in a t-shirt. Cause he thought he could live and eat around wolves and not feed the family. And there's a lot of you young brothers like that. Fake ass jewelry, fake ass cars. We ain't have to rent cars, we own them. But why would I, King's son, why would I want to ride a Porsche Bugatti? You ignorant motherfucker, excuse me. You ignorant cats. I said I wasn't going to curse in this interview. And I apologize to the viewers and the listeners, the women and the children. Y'all get some money. You go and buy things from Caucasian and European people that you can't even pronounce. You don't even know the history of Bugatti or Aston Martin or Mercedes-Benz for that matter. All you know is you think you talented because them Caucasians say you talented and them streams say you talented because it's 10 million ignorant black folk that white people got tricked and say you talented. Next 6 months, move you to the side, get another sellout nigga to do it. We ain't have sellouts. Rakim ain't no sellout. Big Daddy Kane ain't no sellout. G-Rap ain't no sellout. Ice-T ain't no sellout. Chuck D ain't no sellout. Kumo D, LL, Slick Rick, Dana Dane. You name Heavy D, all of ours. We ain't never sold out. Because we had double platinum. We had Grammys. Some had Oscars. And we was still living with our mothers. Not because we was stupid, because we wasn't stupid. We ain't suck no dick. We ain't sell our people out. I'm going to give it to you raw and straight, and I don't care what you got to say in the comments. For real, for real. This brother right here, Bigga, the bigger picture, this platform, this what you need to be watching, because this where you going to get real shit from. Tell yourself lies. Watch Revolt TV. I ain't trying to disrespect Drink Champs. When I watch Drink Champs, I watch Ice-T big me up. I watch Tretch big me up. I watch CeeLo Green big me up. They ain't never asked me to come on that show. Math Hoffa ain't never asked me to come on that show. Bigga tried to get me on. Yo, we booked up, OG, we booked up. You know why you don't see me on interviews and shows? No disrespect. Like Tony Yayo and them. I ain't gonna suck the next man dick. No disrespect. Yo, Demetrius is an ill nigga. Yo, Demetrius a killer nigga. Yo, Demetrius a wild out. I don't do commercials for the next man. I'm my own cherry section. And I mean no disrespect to Tony Yayo or anybody that might be fanboying the next man. But see, what I'm doing right now, somebody got to do it, man. Somebody got to speak truth to power, brother.
Absolutely.
Somebody got to do it, man. May as well be the God. And this God's with me and behind me. God bodies. Civilized gods, not gods that smoke weed, sell drugs, disrespect women, misogynistic, dress anyway, do anything. Not them gods. Civilized, righteous gods. You might not want to hear it. You might not want to hear it. So keep doing what you're doing. And our race is going to keep being messed up like it's being messed up. You feel me? It's going to keep being messed up. It's going to keep looking like we ignorant, young, all the money out there. All y'all young black cats. I ain't even got to say y'all names. Little this, baby that, nigga this, gunshot that. With all y'all niggas' money, 10 of y'all niggas can't get together and make $1 billion to do nothing for black people. Why? Because you know why? Because they already stepped to you and said, if you do it, nigga, you're done too. So let me ask you a question. Young black cats, do you got a price or do you got a life? Next question, Big.
Absolutely. So amazing. Like I said, there's no way possible. This would have to be a reoccurring thing that we want to do, and there's so much in the future I look forward to. So a couple things before we wrap it up I want to touch on before we quite...
And this just, I don't know if when I had the yellow was part one, I would say this part one. You feel me? But it's going to be 3 parts.
Yeah, exactly.
120 of knowledge, 120 of wisdom, and 120 of understanding. Just until or so y'all can get a low picture of what we trying to do, where we trying to go, and what the bigger picture platform is all about. Pardon me, because my mouth is a little dry, so I might be, spotlights and things. But nah, Bill.
I saw something interesting, and I know you're going to want to build on this a lot before we wrap it up. A few years back, I was watching a basketball game.
Okay.
And I saw Jay-Z with the universal flag around his neck. And everybody bugged out like, what is Jay-Z wearing the universal flag? And what does that, like basically what does that mean? That he's wearing a universal flag.
Right.
So people went on to assuming he's God body.
Right.
So
from a nation point of view, you see a cat like Jay-Z that has elevated financially and business, economically, financially, and business-wise, and for him to handle and present a universal flag to the nation of gods and earth, they see that as a big thing. Like, yo, everybody's seeing Jay-Z, so they gonna come and get knowledge. Nah, but if they do come and get knowledge, they doing it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Now, if you see Jay-Z building, it don't have to be he's putting money into making schools or he giving money to the school. When you see a universal flag, man, and you knowledge the ways and actions of the person that's wearing that flag. You knowledge how they speak, you knowledge their mannerisms, how they're talking. You just sit back and see who they run with and what they're about. Now, when you're in the limelight and you're in the entertainment business, everything becomes tinsel. Everything becomes la-la. You feel me? So Jay-Z had a universal flag. Did he show and prove for the universal flag? Did he know the meaning of the universal flag? I mean, was it iced out? What was the significance of the flag greater than the cost of that flag? How much did that flag cost? I'm not sure if it had something to do with one of my righteous brothers, Jay Electronica. I know Carmelo Anthony.
That's who trained him.
Right.
Carmelo's training.
Right. But the science says these cats are from New York, so a lot of people from New York feel that what might be urban culture, be it hip hop, 5% Nation, breakdancing, or whatever, you have access to it. Or I'm God, I know the gods. He might know Preem in them. He might know Prince in them. He might know Black Just in them. These are gods from back in Queens and Medina. Klein, Black Messiah and them from Red Hook and from Marcy and all that. You understand? So it's like, yeah, bad. So I can't never say I've never seen them as far as building. Peace to Jay-Z, peace to Jay-Z family. Peace to the dark side of Marcy and the light side. They know who I am. They know I'm the God King's son. I really could care less about cars, money. I'd rather be able to walk down Marcy Street or go to Marcy Projects and go to a cookout and chill. I'd rather be able to go up to Patterson Projects or go in Hamilton Projects in Manhattan and walk down 125th. Cool. Me and my family, me and my nephew, not bothered or slap box or pick up the dice and shoot a little something. Then to have all the money in the world and can't go and chill. And I got to sit up in a mansion in Beverly Hills or Hollywood Hills. I don't know that woman who cooking for me. She ain't my family. I don't know what my accountant doing right now. I don't know who having sex with my wife in Dubai or whatever. There's a lot of uncertainty with all that money. And you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's taking place. But as far as, the gods I built with the elders, Born Justice, and, I built with the gods, and, I want to say Dark Kim and them. I built with the gods, and they was like, nah, with the nation, it's like, oh, yeah, Jay-Z, he can't, it don't matter if he get money or he push the cause. Him just holding the universal flag brought a lot of people to be righteous. But I don't see it that way. I see they use it as a stepping stone. They use it as a tool. It wasn't that he got people or Mello or whoever touched the flag, they got people to become righteous. No, they got you who believe and who acknowledge this flag to support their cause. It's a reverse Yaqub effect. Why was Yaqub successful in all his undertaking? Because the people who were his followers followed his law regardless. What he told them to do, they did. If not, they paid with their life for every law they fell a victim to. So with us, we don't do that. That's why that Caucasian man, that devil, is in control now. Because he's doing what he was put here to do. Now the question is, Jay-Z, Mello, anybody running with the universal flag of Islam, are we doing what we were put here to do? So like the day's mathematics, take them foreheads. You feel me? And receive that button to wear on the lapel of your coat. I learned not to quote degrees because they're going to say, oh, King Son, he don't know his lessons. And I'm just going to say in this part one or part two of this interview, I have forgotten more knowledge of self than a lot of y'all done learned, man. Let's build. You watching King Son and my man Bigga just for you to get the bigger picture. Pitch.
So before we ended up, two really good hip hop questions I want to end up with. This, we all love hip hop, and you are like an encyclopedia of knowledge. In your opinion,
True.
Greatly matters. Top three. Your last episode you gave the Mount Rushmore of MCs.
Okay.
That was very interesting. That gets a lot of, traction. People
Right.
listen when you speak like that. So, what are the top 3 groups ever?
The top 3 groups, see, that's going to be hard because, when you say groups, you have to categorize it in eras because from like the birth of hip hop, it was all groups, and within those groups was some ill cats. Like, all I gotta really say is, for one, Grandmaster Flag, Furious 5, Treacherous 3, Fearless 4, Cold Crush, you know what I mean? But then you got like Fantastic. So those 4 I named were from that generation. So I would say that's 70s to, yeah, I got it. They all rock. Oh, okay, I ain't even say Soul Sonic Force. You feel me? So when you look for a group like Soul Sonic Force, everybody know, boom, party people. When you hear that, it's over. So why are they not one of the number 1 groups? So then when you hear It's Like a Jungle sometimes, that make me wonder why I keep going under. Why they ain't the top group? But see, what we do now in generations, of course, the locks, like right now, killing them. And you gotta say NWA. You gotta say, now when you say Public Enemy, NWA groups, you gotta say Run DMC. You feel me? See, that's what I mean, and I'm not getting on you or the audience. You cannot tell black people the top 5, the top 10 best boxers, wrestlers, MCs, R&B. You can't say that because we are universal for one, and we are everlasting for 2. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So so let's say this. You got Run DMC, you got Public Enemy. Now, even before I even say Cuban, I gotta say EPMD. That's a rap group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You feel me? I gotta say E-double-P in them. And then it's like, it's always hard to do that. So when you say that, so when we get down to now, okay, we know the locks. I might say, all right, let me see outside the lock. Like, all right, for instance, when we was coming here, Hev, she playing Sporty Thieves.
I definitely remember them.
I don't want no pigeon. Yo, word is bond. She playing that like on the way up there, like, yo, pal, and she only 30 years old.
Wow.
Sporty is ill.
Yeah.
And Sporty, I think, might have been out or around the same time as the lot.
Mm-hmm. They just
BDP, right.
They never got
you got, so with us, man, it's like the black man is God. The black race is God. So this is what I'm manifesting in your platform. You feel me? Or what's your top 5 boxers of all time, heavyweight? Mayweather ain't even in my top 10. Because I'm going to say Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. I'm going to say Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. I'm going to say, I forgot.
Yeah, Sugar Ray.
When you say top 5 MCs, are you thinking about Black Thought, Tariq? Are you thinking about Mos Def, Talib Kweli? Before I got to Kendrick, I might even say Lil Wayne is there. Because the black man is original. And we produce all that. Not to be preachy to the young generation. I ain't being preachy, man, but at some point, y'all gonna have to grow up. And when you grow up, you're gonna look and be like, OG, yo, or whatever. I don't like to be called OG, none of that shit. Call me the God or just say son born a king's son. I don't like calling them that I'm old type of things. But no one understand this. There's gonna come a point in your life when you grow up and you realize that everything me and people my age, your parents, whatever was telling you, and you're gonna bear witness that it's the truth. So I can't hit you with a Mount Rushmore. I was watching that, right? They said the Puerto Rican Mount Rushmore, they had Fat Joe, Big Pun, Joel Ortiz, and somebody else. What happened to Tito from the Fearless Four?
Yeah.
You feel me? And Tito ain't broke. He wasn't broke. He ain't fall off. Prince Marky D, what happened to him? You feel me? We can't, you can't put the black man or you can't put original people in a box. You feel me? You can't put us in an assorted box of 12 because we're universal and we multiply.
Shout out to Kid Frost.
Oh, of course, Kid Frost. Now see, look, now you said Kid Frost. Now I gotta say Mellow Man H.
Yeah.
Mellow is
Mellow Man was the H, my man.
Now I got to know.
That's my generation. Yeah.
Right, you feel me?
Yeah.
So, and it's like, oh, well, we don't know them. That's because we didn't know Malcolm X. We wasn't alive when Malcolm X. Or we wasn't alive when Father-in-Law was alive. But we know they exist and we know who they were. Look at this. This I'm gonna say this on a note. You ever notice when you look in the movies, white people keep coming out with Gladiator, they keep coming out with colonial movies and cowboy movies. They keep bringing their history, getting Oscars for their history, old gangster movies, old British movies, all that. All we could do is come out with gangster B movies that I gotta kill you because we selling drugs, or him and her trying to raise money to pay their rent, clowning and buffooning. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
They tried to redo, look what happened when they tried to redo Superfly. That was an embarrassment.
It was so ridiculous.
What are you doing? You feel me? That was an embarrassment. You look at The Godfather, 1, 2, and 3. That's their history. We do these little B movies, be in my movie, and do this. Yeah, Tom. Hey, man, tell that motherfucker to bring them keys in here. Bitch, go get my money. B movies. What, man? We need Spike Lee's, man. We need Denzel Washington's. We need, we need to support our own. So we could watch School Days, Do the Right Thing. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You look at, with Bill Cosby in trouble, whatever, go back and watch Uptown Saturday Night. Piece of the action.
Yeah, I just watched that the other night.
Come on, you just watched that. You fell back like, with the popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Big Percy, Low Seymour.
Right.
You look at the schemes of it like, yeah, man. You know, that's our heritage, the Mac.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's a lot of
Mac
band
changed my life
joints.
when I watched that movie.
Well, it's born. There's a lot of
Across 110th Street.
right across 110th Street with the song. There's so much to us, man. But that unlike man makes sure we don't tap into the natural resources of ourselves. Because if we do, we good. We gonna feed us. So make sure that we stay paid but broke, smart but ignorant. So we'll always need them. Knowledge that, man. You feel me?
As
man.
always, this has been such a pleasure and an honor, we have so much more to come. Y'all have no idea what we have planned. So just stay in tune. It's going to be much, much more. We are in the presence of a legend. Everyone should pay honor and respect. And I'm going to even go as far as saying, I'm going to end it with this. This is a scenario. I want to tell the scenario because the next one, I'm going to bring this up and talk about it more, but I want to end it with this. There was a scenario, and not to bring this up, but it needs to be brought up.
Bring it up, Bigga. This ain't the math.
Yeah, exactly.
Deal with truth.
I want to deal with the truth.
Shout out to Space Ghost who ain't come.
And this is just dealing with some truth.
True.
And this is something I feel in my heart and I want to implement. I took Cass and Mel to the Math Hoffa show.
Right.
Introduced them, took them to the show, put them to the work. I had a plan that night.
True.
So my plan that night was, while they was doing the interview, we was going to bring up how did this happen? How the people that created and shaped and molded and laid the tracks and did everything, how were they broke? It just don't add up. And then how are there rappers that have the nerve to claim to be billionaires even? And then these dudes don't even have hundreds of thousands. It doesn't balance out. I don't understand it. So what I wanted to do, I had a plan that day where, I had told my partner here, Vern, I said, while they doing the show, I would say like this: we can't expect as a culture and a people no longer to expect these outside forces to make it right and change. That's on us. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, when they was in the interview, we was going to speak about that, and then I was going to say, go into my pocket, take $100 for both of them, you know what I'm saying? Right. And give them, $100 into their CASHAPP or whatever. That just as a small, that's nothing but a small contribution from me. At the time, we had 600,000 followers. Every show we was doing was getting about 300,000 views, no less. I said, if 300,000 people watched it, if just, 50,000 of them get the message and understand and put money in these getting men Cash App, it would change their whole existence. If it's 300,000, if just everybody just put in $1, just $2, that's 300,000 for them both of them, that would have changed greatly. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they have a situation, but that would have definitely empowered them. So what I'm saying by that is that it's not about pride, because I know that we say that we don't want to put the cash up. I put the cash up. If y'all want to give me some money, please, I need it. You know what I'm saying? I don't, my Cash App is at the bottom of the thing. I think that we need to change our own selves. And that start with, if you let the people know your Cash App, you know what I'm saying? That they could, those that understand the legend and the information that we're giving to you, you know what I'm saying? But we have to support one another. We can't expect no one else to do that. We have to start doing that ourselves for each other.
But let me say this. And again, I keep comparing original people to white people. I keep making that comparison, right? You'll go on GoFundMe. You'll see a white lady. She'll say her little dog, her little teacup Yorkie, broke his paw, and she's distraught. His bills are $20,000. She'll do a GoFundMe and raise $60,000 for a dog.
This is ridiculous.
Right? Now, you would take an individual. Well, let's say this individual's apartment burnt down. And let's say this individual lost everything. Not because he was on drugs, not because he was drunk or he messed up the money or whatever. This individual lost everything due to fire. A water heater exploded and blew up. Now, this individual is a black individual, happened to be a part of the hip hop industry. Not only is this individual in the industry, this individual is a part of the Hip Hop Alliance that has 5,000 members. So somebody says, well, hey, do a GoFundMe, blah. Again, like the pride thing, with original people, when we do a GoFundMe or we ask for something, we're put in a situation where we're begging. And then we'll have our own people say, what you begging for? Go get a job. Or what you need this for? Go do this. Or go sell drugs. Or go do this, that, and the third. But see, as black people, we never realized who helped us. Jay-Z didn't get that billion by himself and on his own. You understand? Prince didn't make his millions by himself on his own. Obama did not become. See, we got a habit of getting help from people when we struggling. Yeah, everybody contributes. But then once we blow up, we get that go for self gene or germ. I did this by myself. Even when you watch Scarface at the end, who built this shit? Me. Who built this? Not without Manolo, you didn't. And who you killed? Manolo. You would have been dead if it wasn't for Manolo. When they had you in on Ocean Drive, about to put the chainsaw to your head. If it wasn't for Manolo, you'd have been dead.
Never made it out of there.
Well, we love Scarface. Oh, who put this shit together? Me. Who did all this? Me. And that's what black people, man, we keep thinking we fly. We keep thinking we fly, but we not, man. We keep thinking we independent, but we not. We keep thinking that we in control, but we not. That's what happened to Puff, man. No, I'm not. I haven't been to Puff parties, not those, but I haven't been to white parties. And everything what I'm saying, I'm going to give, everything I commented on, I'm going to give Bigga the pictures to edit and put and show you. Everything is real, from Fat Joe to Eazy-E to Ice Cube to Wu-Tang to Snoop and everybody who I ran with. Everybody who I looked out for, man. And a lot of these cats is millionaires now. A lot of these cats is doing their numbers. I never asked them for nothing. But with black people, man, why is it that whenever we get something, we can't look back? We can't give it back. But how much do you pay your Jewish lawyer? Pardon me, no disrespect. How much do you pay your white lawyer? How much do you pay for that European car? How much do you pay that white man for the jewelry you got or that house you living in? How much money do you spend with the white man that you don't spend back with the black man? Mm-hmm. You will go and have a party, you'll throw a birthday party for Eminem, $50,000. But you won't give a black MC who did this before you $10,000 for him to stand up on his feet. Mm-hmm. And you will say you're a real nigga because you are a real nigga. Nigga. Pitch, man. Y'all heard the Tupac verse from Living in the Sky. Now you're going to hear the Biggie verse. Hold up, I got it. I got the Biggie verse. They say you live by it and die from it. I hope you was blunted, because I'm sure that's the way you would have wanted. Another who done it for rumors to run with. The media loves to have fun with some guns. Deadlines of twisted headlines and plots entitled Rap War. Let me do it over.
Yeah, you can do it over.
Now I'm going to hit y'all with the Biggie verse. They say you live by it, you die from it. I hope you was blunted, cause I'm sure that's the way you would have wanted. Another who done it for rumors to run with. The media loves to have fun with some guns. Deadlines of twisted headlines and plots entitled Rap Wars. East Coast gangster rapper shot in retaliation with the death of Tupac, who was also hot. Y'all both was too hot. From catching cages to different. Let me run it back. Ready? This that Biggie verse. They say you live by it, you die from it. I hope you was blunted, cause I'm sure that's the way you would have wanted. Another who done it for rumors to run with. The media loves to have fun with some guns. Deadlines of twisted headlines and plots entitled Rap Wars. East Coast gangster rapper shot in retaliation with the death of Tupac, who was also shot. Y'all both was too hot. From catching cases to dissing nondescript faces in public places, lacing the multicultural races of multi-platinum raps with urban entertainment, cut short to face the final court of arraignment to answer for your lyrics. Still amongst the living, though in spirit, those ready to die never fear it, or hear it when the reaper done dialed your beeper number. Sometimes it ain't the sleeper who walks into the slumber. I wonder, like Stevie putting ribbons in the sky. See, life after death is living in the sky. Shout out to Bed-Stuy, Do or Die, inconceivable, the death of the notorious Bed, still unbelievable. You gotta unite. We gotta stop fighting, yeah. Stop fighting amongst ourselves. We gotta stay strong. Black people, cause this is a wake-up call, yeah. Coast to coast, here today, been a ghost, didn't know you too well, still felt kinda close. Reaper make the distant family reunite. Sometimes I wonder if we curse ourselves in what we write. Career took flight, your future looked good, still kept it real with the thugs in the hood. Young, black, and gifted, lyrically artistic, gave birth to ideas that appeared so realistic. Now getting around ain't the same no more. And players don't consider this a game no more. Cause East Coast and West Coast both need each other. We fight like brothers, but still we gotta feed each other and rediscover how we're related to your dear mama. She done already seen drama from them white farmers. That's why it's hard to keep her head up. She ain't mad at you, just the fact her black son done got wet up. Destined to shine bright, passed in the limelight, victim on the crime site, on the drive-by night. After the fight, Machiavelli, who was known for giving to either side, now resides in the sky living. Oh, so long for these lives we pray, that two stars from around the way with their lives, should they have to pay, now living in the sky with our love. Eulogy. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. When you can't trust your own kin, then who you trust? All we got is us and what's inside of us. Too many died of us, so there's not a lot of us. The ones who keep it real know better to sleep or chill. Death is deep, but still, who knows how deep it feels? The life we take for granted is only ours to borrow. Pay homage and sorrow, cause we're not promised tomorrow. In memory of Scott LaRock, Tupac, and Biggie, Mel Ice, Steve Mitchell, and K. Nitty. This is not a coincidence. It's harder not to represent. No longer here among violence. They're living in the sky with our love. That's the song that I did the day after Biggie Smalls died. Pardon me, I'm not a singer. All the singing parts were to be sung by Stevie Wonder, who Sugar Dice took me to his house, and he approved of that message. Puff said he couldn't use it. That was my contribution to Biggie and Pac after I did that record, California, This and Pac, who was my brother, and I love him to this day. Shout out to Mo Preem, Lil Pac, and they Pac.